Part 1. The Vote of Doom. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council had never seen such a crowd. Thousands of alien species filled the massive chamber. Their voices echoed off the crystal walls. Today was historic. Today they would vote on Earth's fate. Ambassador Xyloth stood at the center podium. His 3 eyes gleamed with confidence. He raised his clawed hand for silence. Brothers and sisters of the galaxy, Xyloth began. We gather here to discuss the human problem. Laughter rippled through the crowd. The mere mention of humans seemed like a joke to them. These creatures call themselves intelligent, Xyloth continued. Yet they fight among themselves. They destroy their own planet. They know nothing of the greater universe. A reptilian delegate hissed in agreement. They are primitives, nothing more than clever animals. Exactly. Xyloth's voice boomed. Which is why I propose we take control of Earth. These humans need guidance. They need masters. The chamber erupted in cheers. Species after species stood up shouting their support. Earth had resources they wanted. Minerals, water, and billions of workers who didn't even know aliens existed. But in the back of the hall, one figure remained silent. Commander Vrax was old. His grayscales carried scars from 100 battles. He had seen empires rise and fall. And right now, he felt a cold fear in his chest. This is wrong, Vrax whispered to himself. The vote began. One by one, species cast their decision. The holographic display showed the results in real time. Vote for enslavement. 847 species. Vote against 3 species, Xyloth smiled. It is decided. Earth belongs to the Galactic Council. Prepare the invasion fleet. The crowd celebrated. They had no idea what was coming. Meanwhile on Earth, Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her computer screen. Something was wrong. Very wrong. That's impossible, she muttered. Her satellite had detected massive objects entering the solar system. Not asteroids, not comets, ships, hundreds of them. She ran to her supervisor's office. Director Morrison, we have a situation. Within an hour, every major government knew the truth. Humanity was not alone, and they were about to be attacked. President Thompson sat in the emergency bunker, surrounded by military advisors. The screen showed alien fleet positions. There were too many to count. How long do we have? Thompson asked. 72 hours, sir, General Hawkins replied. Maybe less. Can we fight them? Hawkins looked at the data. Mr. President, we don't even know what we're fighting, but someone else did. Deep beneath the Nevada desert, in a facility that officially didn't exist, scientists had been preparing for this moment. For decades, they had studied crashed alien technology. They had built weapons. They had trained soldiers. Dr. James Carter stood before a massive hangar door. Behind it lay Earth's secret, the insurance policy humanity hoped they'd never need. Sir, his assistant said nervously, the President just authorized Protocol Omega. Carter nodded slowly. Then it's time. Wake them up. The alien fleet arrived in Earth's orbit exactly 72 hours later. Ships of every shape and size surrounded the blue planet. They looked like metal wolves circling helpless prey. Admiral Kryn commanded the flagship. He looked down at Earth with satisfaction. Such a beautiful world, and soon it will be ours. He opened a communication channel to the planet below. Attention, humans of Earth. His voice translated into every language. This is Admiral Kryn of the Galactic Council. Your planet has been claimed. You have 1 hour to surrender. Lay down your weapons. Submit to our authority. Resistance will be met with destruction. In bunkers and command centers across Earth, leaders listened to the message. Some wanted to surrender. Some wanted to negotiate. But President Thompson had made his decision. General Hawkins, send our response. Hawkins typed the message personally. It was short, simple, and terrifying. The message appeared on every alien ship's display. You shouldn't have come here, Admiral Kryn laughed. Is that supposed to scare us? These primitives think they can... His words died in his throat. Across Earth's surface, hidden installations were opening. Massive cannons rose from underground bunkers. Energy shields flickered to life over major cities. And from secret bases, ships began to launch. Human ships. Sleek, deadly, and armed with technology the aliens didn't know existed. In the Nevada facility, Dr. Carter watched the pilots climb into their fighters. Each one was humanity's best. Each one was ready to die, protecting their home. "Good luck," Carter said quietly. The lead pilot smiled. "We don't need luck, Doc. We've got something better." "What's that?" The pilot looked back at Earth through the hangar opening. "We've got everything to fight for." As the first wave of human fighters launched into space, Admiral Kryn finally felt something he hadn't felt in years: fear. The battle for Earth was about to begin, and the galaxy had no idea what humans were truly capable of. Earth's hidden power. Admiral Kryn watched his screen in disbelief. Human ships were rising from Earth, dozens of them. No, hundreds. They moved with precision and speed. "Impossible," he whispered. "They're supposed to be primitive." His second officer, Lieutenant Voss, checked the readings. "Admiral, those ships, they have energy signatures similar to our own technology." "That cannot be." Kryn slammed his fist on the command console. Intelligence reports said humans barely reached their own moon. They know nothing of space warfare, but the evidence was right in front of him. Human fighters were spreading into formation. They weren't panicking. They weren't running. They were preparing to fight. "All ships," Kryn commanded. "Begin the assault. Show these primitives the price of defiance." The alien fleet opened fire. Energy beams and plasma bolts streaked toward Earth's major cities: New York, Tokyo, London, Beijing, all targeted for immediate destruction. But something strange happened. The weapons hit invisible barriers. Blue energy shields rippled across the sky above each city. Every single shot was absorbed or deflected. "Shields." Voss stared at his screen. "They have planetary defense shields." On Earth's surface, people looked up in wonder and fear. They could see the battle beginning in the sky above them. Explosions of light. Ships moving at incredible speeds. But the shields held strong. In the Nevada Command Center, General Hawkins smiled grimly. Phase 1 successful. Their first strike failed. President Thompson stood beside him. "What's Phase 2? "We hit back, sir." The human fighters reached the alien fleet faster than expected. The lead pilot, Captain Maria Rodriguez, locked onto her first target, a massive cruiser that looked like it could swallow a city. "Wolf Squadron, break formation. Engage at will," she ordered. Her fighter screamed through space. She dodged incoming fire with practiced ease. The alien weapons were powerful but slow, predictable. She armed her missiles. These weren't normal missiles. They carried technology reverse-engineered from alien crashes over the past 50 years. Humanity had been studying, learning, preparing. "Fox 3, Maria said calmly. The missile launched. It moved so fast the alien ship didn't have time to react. It struck the cruiser's power core directly. The explosion lit up the darkness of space. "Direct hit," her wingman shouted. "That was incredible." "Stay focused," Maria replied. "We've got 100 more targets." Across the battlefield, human fighters were performing the same deadly dance. They were outnumbered 10 to 1, but they were faster, smarter, and fighting for their home. Admiral Kryn couldn't believe what he was seeing. "Casualty report. We've lost 17 ships, sir." In the first 10 minutes, 17? Kryn's 3 eyes widened in shock. Against these primitives? A massive explosion rocked his flagship. Alarms blared throughout the bridge. "We're under attack," Voss shouted. "Multiple human fighters on our position." Kryn gripped his command chair. "Return fire!" All batteries. But the human ships were too agile. They weaved through the alien defensive fire like birds dancing through rain. Every shot they took found its mark. Every missile hit a critical system. "Sir, we're losing ships faster than we can count." Kryn's confidence was crumbling. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humans were supposed to be weak, helpless, easy prey. "Retreat to secondary formation," he ordered. "Regroup and reassess." On Earth, people were glued to their screens. Every news channel showed the battle. Humanity was fighting back. And somehow, impossibly, they were winning. Dr. Sarah Chen watched from her observatory. Tears streamed down her face. Not from fear, but from pride. Her species, which the aliens thought was primitive, was proving them wrong. "We're not prey," she whispered. "We're survivors." In space, Captain Rodriguez received new orders. "Wolf Squadron targets are retreating. Press the advantage." "Copy that, command." Moving to pursue. But something caught her eye. One alien ship wasn't retreating. It was different from the others, larger, more heavily armed. "Command, I've got a bogey. Looks like a battleship class. Permission to engage?" General Hawkins studied the data. Negative, Wolf 1. That's their command ship. Too dangerous for single squadron. Then send backup, Maria said. Because I'm not letting that ship leave. She knew the risk. That ship held the admiral who ordered this attack. The one who thought Earth was easy pickings. Wolf Squadron, follow my lead. We're taking down the flagship. Her team didn't hesitate. They trusted her. They followed her straight toward the massive alien vessel. Admiral Kryn saw them coming. 6 small human fighters against his battleship. Foolish, he muttered. They're going to die heroes. But he was wrong. The human fighters split into 3 pairs. Each pair attacked from a different angle. They moved in perfect coordination, like they had practiced this exact maneuver 1,000 times, because they had. Maria's missiles struck the ship's shield generators. Her wingman's guns tore through the weakened armor. The other pairs targeted engines and weapon systems. Within 90 seconds, Kryn's flagship was crippled, all systems failing. Voss reported in panic. We're dead in space. Kryn stared at the small human fighter that circled his ship like a shark. He could see the pilot through the canopy. A human, a supposedly primitive creature, and she had just defeated him. His communication console crackled to life. Maria's voice came through. This is Captain Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Force. Tell your council this. You came to enslave us. You failed, and if you come back, we'll destroy every single one of you. Kryn had no response. For the first time in his military career, he felt true fear. Retreat, he whispered. Signal all ships. Full retreat. The surviving alien ships turned and fled. They jumped to hyperspace as fast as their damaged engines could manage. On Earth, billions of people erupted in celebration. They had won. Against impossible odds, humanity had defended their home. But in the command center, General Hawkins wasn't celebrating. He was looking at long-range sensors. Mr. President, we have a problem. What is it? More ships. Thousands of them. The Galactic Council is sending reinforcements. President Thompson's smile faded. How long do we have? 2 weeks. Maybe 3. The general pulled up another screen. It showed Earth's hidden weapons. The ones they hadn't used yet. The truly devastating arsenal. Then we use that time to prepare, Thompson said. They wanted a war. We'll give them one they'll never forget. Captain Rodriguez landed her fighter back at base. Mechanics swarmed the damaged craft. She climbed out, exhausted but alive. Dr. Carter approached her. Hell of a job up there, Captain. It's not over, Maria said. They'll be back. I know, Carter replied. But next time we'll be ready. And next time we won't just defend. Maria looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Galactic Council was planning their revenge. But they still didn't understand. Humans weren't just survivors. They were hunters too. Let them come, Maria said quietly. We'll show them what Earth is really capable of. The hunt begins. Commander Vrax stood before the Galactic Council once again. The chamber was silent this time. No cheering, no laughter, only fear. Explain this disaster, Council Leader Xyloth demanded. His 3 eyes glared at the military commanders. How did primitives defeat our fleet? Admiral Kryn, his pride shattered, stepped forward. They were prepared. They had technology we didn't expect. Weapons, shields, tactics, excuses. Xyloth roared. You had 800 ships. They had nothing. They had everything, Vrax said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. They had their home. That's what you all forgot. Silence, old fool, Xyloth snapped. We're sending the full armada. Every available ship from every member species. Humanity will learn their place. Vrax shook his head. You're making the same mistake twice. Then what do you suggest? I suggest we leave them alone. Offer peace before it's too late. The council chamber erupted in angry voices. Species that had lost ships demanded revenge. Others wanted the resources they were promised. Xyloth raised his hand for silence. The decision is made. We send everything. Earth will fall, but Vrax knew the truth. The hunt had already begun, and humans weren't the prey anymore. On Earth, the celebration had ended quickly. Reality set in fast. More aliens were coming, many more. President Thompson called an emergency meeting with world leaders. Every nation was represented. For the first time in human history, the world stood united. We can't just wait for them to attack again, the Chinese premier said. We need a strategy. The Russian president agreed. Defense won't be enough, not against thousands of ships. General Hawkins stood at the head of the table. Behind him was a star map showing alien territories. "Ladies and gentlemen, I have a proposal. It's risky. Some might call it insane." "Let's hear it," Thompson said. Hawkins pointed to the map. "We don't wait. We don't defend. We attack them first." The room went silent. "Attack." The British Prime Minister looked shocked. "Attack their worlds? That's madness, is it?" Hawkins zoomed in on the map. "Their fleet is gathering here at the Council staging area. That leaves their homeworlds vulnerable, lightly defended. You want to invade alien planets?" The German Chancellor asked. "No," Hawkins said. "I want to make them afraid. I want them to realize that if they come for us, they'll lose everything they love. Just like they tried to do to us." President Thompson studied the map carefully. It was bold, dangerous, but maybe it was the only way. "How fast can we move?" "Our new ships are faster than theirs," Hawkins replied. "We can strike within 72 hours. The vote was quick, unanimous. Humanity would take the fight to the stars. 3 days later, Captain Maria Rodriguez led a fleet of 50 Earth ships through hyperspace. They weren't heading toward the alien armada. They were going around it. "All squadrons, sound off," Maria commanded. "Wolf Squadron ready, Eagle Squadron ready, Tiger Squadron ready." One by one, every unit reported ready. These were Earth's best pilots. Each one volunteered for this mission. Each one knew they might not come home. "Target in 60 seconds, her navigator announced. Maria felt her heart race. They were about to attack an alien homeworld, a planet with billions of civilians, but they had no choice. The galaxy needed to learn that Earth wouldn't be a victim. "Remember the rules of engagement," Maria said over the comms. "Military targets only. No civilian casualties." "We're not monsters. We're protectors." The ships dropped out of hyperspace. Before them lay Zinthar Prime, Admiral Kryn's homeworld, a beautiful planet of purple oceans and silver cities. And around it, only a dozen defense satellites. They weren't expecting an attack. "This is it," Maria said. "All units begin assault. Hit the military installations and get out. Fast." The Earth fleet moved like lightning. They struck orbital defense platforms first, then military shipyards, command centers, weapons factories. The Zintharian defenders scrambled to respond, but they were too slow, too unprepared. Within 20 minutes, every military target was destroyed. Not a single civilian building was touched. Maria's console beeped. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission. It's from the planet's surface." "Put it through." An alien face appeared on screen. He looked terrified. "Please, please stop." "We surrender." Maria felt no joy in his fear, only sadness. "Tell your council this. Leave Earth alone and we'll leave you alone. But if you come for us again, we won't stop next time." She cut the transmission. "All units, mission complete. Jump to next target." The same scene played out across the galaxy. Human strike teams hit world after world. Always military targets. Always precise. Always devastating. The Reptilian Confederacy lost their main fleet. Construction yards, the Hive Collective's command stations were reduced to debris. The Crystalline Empire's weapons research facilities were destroyed. Species that had voted to enslave Earth were now begging for mercy in the Galactic Council chamber. "Chaos erupted. My homeworld is under attack." Where did they get ships that fast? "They're everywhere. How is this possible?" Xyloth tried to maintain order, but he was losing control. Representatives were screaming at him. Some were fleeing the chamber entirely. "Recall the Armada." Someone shouted. "Protect our worlds." "No," Xyloth roared. "If we scatter our forces, we lose everything. The Armada stays together." But it was too late. Species were already pulling their ships back to defend their homes. The massive fleet that was supposed to crush Earth was falling apart. Commander Vrax watched it all with a heavy heart. "I warned you," he said quietly. Xyloth turned on him, rage in his eyes. "This is your fault. You poisoned the Council with your doubts." "My doubts?" Vrax stood tall despite his age. "You started a war with a species you knew nothing about. You assumed they were weak because they seemed primitive. That arrogance is destroying us. They're just humans." "No," Vrax said firmly. "They're survivors. They evolved on a deadly world, fighting for every breath, every meal, every day. They learned to adapt, to overcome, to win. And you poked the most dangerous predator in the galaxy." Xyloth's confidence finally cracked. For the first time, doubt entered his mind. What do we do?" "We pray they're more merciful than we were." Captain Rodriguez returned to Earth after a week of raids. Her fleet had struck 15 worlds, every mission successful, 0 human casualties, but she felt no victory, only exhaustion. General Hawkins met her at the landing bay. "Good work, Captain. The Council is in chaos. Some species are already withdrawing their forces. How many did we kill?" Maria asked quietly. "According to reports, 0 civilians. Only military personnel who resisted." Maria nodded slowly. "That was important. Humans weren't conquerors. They were defenders. There was a difference." "What's next, General?" Hawkins pulled up a tactical display. It showed the Galactic Council's main headquarters, the station where Xyloth and the other leaders hid. "Next we go to the source. We end this war by showing them they can't hide from consequences." Maria looked at the station. Somewhere inside was Xyloth, the one who started this whole conflict, the one who voted to enslave her planet. "When do we leave?" "Tomorrow." "And Maria?" Hawkins put a hand on her shoulder. "This is the most important mission. The galaxy is watching. We need to show them who humans really are." "And who are we, sir?" Hawkins smiled slightly. "We're the species that fights harder than anyone. But we're also the species that shows mercy when others wouldn't. Remember that." Maria saluted. "Yes, sir." As she walked away, she thought about the alien faces she'd seen, the fear in their eyes. They had expected humans to be cruel, to be monstrous. Instead, humans had been precise, professional, deadly when necessary, but never cruel. Tomorrow, they would face the Galactic Council directly, and the galaxy would learn the final lesson. Humans didn't want to rule anyone. They just wanted to be left alone. But if you threatened their home, you would face something scarier than any monster. You would face humanity's determination to survive. The Galactic Council falls. The Galactic Council headquarters floated in deep space. It was a massive station, bigger than Earth's moon. Thousands of ships surrounded it. This was supposed to be the safest place in the galaxy. Today, it would become a battlefield. Council leader Xyloth stood in the central command room, surrounded by holographic displays. Each one showed bad news. His carefully built armada was scattered. Ships were returning to protect their homeworlds instead of attacking Earth. "How many ships do we still have?" Xyloth asked. His military advisor checked the numbers. 3,200 ships remain in formation, sir, but more are leaving every hour. 3,000, Xyloth repeated. He tried to sound confident. "That's still more than enough to crush one primitive planet." Commander Vrax entered the room. His old eyes looked tired. "You still don't understand, do you?" "What now, old fool? Those humans you keep calling primitive? They're coming here, right now," Xyloth laughed nervously. "Impossible. This station is light years from Earth. They couldn't possibly—" Alarms screamed throughout the station. "Alert! Alert! Unknown ships detected. Multiple hyperspace signatures. On every screen, Earth ships appeared. Not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands. The entire Earth defense fleet had jumped directly to Council headquarters. How? Xyloth stumbled backward. How did they build so many ships so fast? Vrax smiled slightly. Because while you were planning invasion, they were preparing for war. You gave them time. That was your biggest mistake. President Thompson's face appeared on every screen in the station. His voice was calm but firm. "Attention, Galactic Council. This is President Thompson of Earth. You voted to enslave my world. You sent your fleets to attack innocent people. Now you will answer for those choices." Xyloth found his voice. You wouldn't dare attack this station. There are diplomats here. "Civilians." "We know," Thompson replied. "Which is why we're giving you a choice. Surrender the leaders who voted for war, or we will come in and take them ourselves." "You're bluffing." Thompson's expression didn't change. "You have 10 minutes to decide." The transmission ended. Panic spread through the station like fire. Diplomats ran through corridors. Representatives from hundreds of species tried to escape, but human ships surrounded every exit. There was nowhere to run. In a private chamber, Admiral Kryn sat alone. His career was destroyed. His pride was shattered. He had been so confident humans were weak. Now he knew the truth. Humans weren't weak. They were terrifying. A human boarding team would come for him soon. He could try to fight, try to escape, but what was the point? He had lost. The door exploded inward. Human soldiers poured in, weapons ready. They moved with precision, checking every corner. Captain Maria Rodriguez entered last. She still wore her pilot suit. Her eyes locked onto Kryn. "Admiral Kryn," she said. You're under arrest for crimes against humanity. Kryn stood slowly. He was twice her size, but she didn't flinch. You realize this means war with the entire galaxy? No, Maria replied. This means the galaxy learns a lesson. Actions have consequences. I was following orders. So were the guards at every concentration camp in human history. Maria said coldly. That excuse didn't work for them either. Kryn lowered his head. He had no defense. He had attacked innocent people. He deserved whatever came next. In the council chamber, Xyloth watched his world crumble. One by one, council members were surrendering. Some were trying to blame others. Some were begging for mercy. This is your fault. The reptilian delegate hissed at Xyloth. You promised easy victory. You said humans were primitives. I didn't know, Xyloth stammered. None of you knew, Commander Vrax said. He stood at the entrance flanked by human soldiers. Because none of you bothered to learn. You saw a species that looked weak and assumed you could take what you wanted. General Hawkins stepped forward. Behind him, dozens of armed humans secured the room. Council Leader Xyloth, you're under arrest. On what authority? Xyloth tried to sound defiant, but his voice shook. On the authority of 8 billion humans you tried to enslave, Hawkins replied. On the authority of every species in this galaxy that's tired of your corruption. You can't do this. I am the council leader. Not anymore. Human soldiers moved forward. Xyloth looked around desperately. No one came to help him. Every species that had supported him now looked away in shame. As they took him away, Xyloth screamed. You'll regret this. The galaxy will never accept human rule. Hawkins shook his head. We don't want to rule anyone. We just want justice. Within 3 hours, every council leader who voted for Earth's enslavement was in custody. The station was secured. Not a single civilian was harmed. President Thompson addressed the galaxy from the council chamber itself. Billions across hundreds of worlds watched the transmission. People of the galaxy, Thompson began. Earth did not ask for this war. We were peaceful. We were learning about the universe. And then your leaders voted to enslave us, to take our freedom, to treat us like animals. He paused, letting the words sink in. We fought back. Not because we wanted to conquer, not because we wanted revenge, but because every living being has the right to be free. Images appeared behind him. Footage of the alien attack on Earth, cities under bombardment, people running in fear. Your leaders saw us as weak. They thought we would surrender without a fight. They were wrong. More images. Human ships defending their world. Battles in space. The raids on alien military installations. We could have destroyed your worlds. We could have killed billions. But we didn't. Because we're better than that. Because we value life. All life. The camera zoomed in on Thompson's face. Today, we're releasing all prisoners except the leaders who started this war. They will face trial. They will answer for their crimes. Justice will be served. But to everyone else, we offer peace. Real peace. No more enslavement. No more treating weaker species as property. We propose new laws, new protections. A galaxy where all species are equal. He stood tall. Earth doesn't want to rule you. We want to stand beside you. As equals, as allies, as friends. The choice is yours. The transmission ended. In holding cells across the station, the arrested leaders sat in silence. Xyloth stared at the walls of his prison. How had it come to this? He had been so powerful, so confident, now he was nothing. Commander Vrax visited him. The old warrior looked at the fallen leader with something like pity. You could have had humanity as an ally, Vrax said quietly. Instead, you made them your enemy, and then your judge. They'll execute us, Xyloth whispered. Maybe. Maybe not. Humans have something we don't. What? Mercy, Vrax replied. Even when they don't have to. Even when we don't deserve it. He turned to leave, then paused. I tried to warn you. Humans are dangerous, yes, but not because they're cruel. They're dangerous because they refuse to become monsters, even when fighting monsters. Vrax left Xyloth alone with his thoughts. Captain Maria Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of the council station. She looked out at the stars. Earth was somewhere out there, safe now, protected. General Hawkins joined her. Thinking about home. Always, Maria said. Do you think they'll accept the peace offer? Some will, some won't. But we showed them something important today. What's that? That humans can't be bullied. That we'll fight when we have to, but also that we'll show mercy when we can. Hawkins smiled. That's a powerful combination, Maria nodded. The war wasn't over. There would be trials, negotiations, possibly more fighting. But the worst was behind them. Humanity had proven itself. Not through cruelty, not through conquest, but through strength combined with compassion. So what happens next? Maria asked. Hawkins looked at the captured station. At the surrendered fleet. At the new future humanity was building. Next, we teach the galaxy what it really means to be civilized. Somewhere in the darkness of space, other species watched. Some with fear, some with respect, some with hope. The humans had won their war. Now they would have to win the peace. And somehow, the galaxy sensed they would succeed at that too.